I am so sorry, guys. My my computer is set up for StreamYard for like my regular lives. So yeah, sorry about the intro. I don't normally play that when I'm going over the Nancy Guthrie case, so I apologize for that. Tonight we're going to be breaking down a few things in the Nancy Guthrie case that doesn't make a whole lot of sense still. We're going to take a look at the doorbell camera footage, a possible vehicle scene near the home, the drag marks that appeared in the driveway of the night that Nancy Guthrie disappeared. But that's not all. We're also going to talk about Luke's interview, the restaurant glove that was found not far from Nancy's home, and something investigators have mentioned that raises kind of some serious questions is the Wi-Fi jammer that was possibly used. I mean, why would someone need a Wi-Fi jammer? Why was Nancy taken? And could the doorbell camera have captured more than we originally realized? So tonight we're going to go through all this evidence and timeline and all the unanswered questions, and hopefully through some of us we can actually, dispel some of the rumors that are going around and stuff like that. But so let me say, hey Skunk, Sky, Lickety, Andrew, Cajun, Stacy, Honky Madness, Lion Mama, and I think I just said Andrew. Anyways, hey everybody coming in. So first, I want to show what they have given us so far as a timeline. Give me 1 second and I'll bring those up. What is it? Okay. Okay, the first one that they seem to have given us, let me get my phone so I can read this better. Oops. Okay, the first timeline is this the right one for the timeline? Shoot. Bear with me just 1 sec. I had all this stuff set up, but apparently I might have put things in wrong order. This is the first one I think I want to show. Maybe not. Well, where's the one before that? Oh, okay, yeah, that is the right timeline. Okay, sorry. Okay, the arrival, they're saying on January 31st, around 9:48, Nancy was dropped off by her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, after a family dinner. The smart home system logs that the garage door was opening. Now, right there, something's a little bit interesting is that they say it was her house is set up like a smart home. Oops, I'm sorry. What is your email? I have a video of the neighbor before she goes missing. Then the neighbor. My email is behindgreeneyes50@gmail. Yeah. Good night, Pine. Hey, Bunkers. Okay, so you gotta realize, okay, she had a smart home. So, which means, usually means that when doors open and close, there's a record of it, like the garage door. They said the smart home log system, recognized that a garage door opened at 9:48, and then at 9:50, the garage door closes. Thank you, Paisley, very much for the $5 super chat. Keep the good work, BGE. Chew on this super chat, Heavens baby. Yeah, chew on that, Heavens baby. You're ridiculous. Jesus, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So at 9:50, the garage door closes. Tommaso reports that he waited to ensure that she went safely inside the house. Did I hear the scanner from? Yeah, I heard the scanner from last night that I'm assuming that someone was trying to break into Annie's house, maybe. I'm not sure. I have yet only got to see brief part of that, but that someone broke into or was trying to break into one of the Guthrie homes. It obviously would be either Nancy's or Annie's. I'm not quite sure. Scanner unrelated to. Oh, it's unrelated. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, I only got to solve part of it, and I just remember hearing the name Guthrie. So who knows? And further down on this timeline, it says the breach on February 1st. So at 9:50, Nancy got home. She probably gets ready for bed, goes to bed. Around 1:47, the doorbell camera is disconnected. Investigators have not confirmed if it was physically smashed or electronically disabled, but all outgoing data has ceased at the moment. Now here is where my question to where the Wi-Fi jammer comes in. Okay, everybody has seen, let me bring it up here. Everybody has seen the doorbell camera. I thought I had it brought up. Give me just 1 second. I could have swore I had it already up here to go over. I got way too many screens open. Okay, apparently I didn't. But I will here in just 1 second. But my question is, if they used a Wi-Fi jammer, how in the world was the camera at the front door able to record someone coming in? Because according to damn it, I'm in the wrong section. Because according to everyone with the Wi-Fi jammer, it would disrupt all video. And her Nest camera was connected via Wi-Fi, so you would think, why was there actual video footage of the front of the house with the with that guy walking up? It confuses me because I don't understand how it could be there if they used a Wi-Fi. Okay, so if she did not have a smart house, that means there's a lot more video. That's what I'm thinking also. You would think there, but not, well, maybe, maybe not. I mean, it all kind of really depends on how many cameras, if she had cameras inside of her house. But a lot of the smart homes are, you can basically talk to your Alexa or whatever and say, have the heat, everything, the heat. A lot of your, some of your appliances connected to the smart home and stuff. It doesn't always necessarily mean just cameras and stuff, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a smart house. But, yeah, I mean, also, why are the FBI and local police still sitting on their thumbs up there? That's another good question. I mean, I've never seen a more frustrating case in my entire life of lack of searches, lack of just a bunch of shit. It's crazy. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to get that damn. I had a video, but I never put it. I never put it on my channel. I uploaded it, but never put it there. So give me 1 second. I gotta bring it up. Okay. Now let me share a screen. Okay, now bear in mind with me, when I'm sharing a screen, I cannot see chat, so kind of bear with me here. I want to get this to the beginning if I can. Why won't you let me stay at the bottom? Anyways, damn it. I really hate StreamYard sometimes,
I will talk.
First of all, notice when he comes and walks in, he's walking in from over here. This here is the walkway. He's coming, he walks across their like her flower garden or whatever you want to call it. But if he has that Wi-Fi jammer in there, why is this able to record is my question. Because to me, it would block the recording of this video because it would have knocked it off of Wi-Fi. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? I mean, someone let me know, because to me, yeah, it would be blocked. Let me go back to StreamYard here. Oh, did it not? I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've done on StreamYard when I'm actually sitting at home. Okay, let me add the stage. Why is it? Oh, no wonder. Sorry. This stupid thing is still up there. Jesus. Sorry, I'm such a rookie right now. Okay, we'll start that over. But, you know, if he's here at the camera and he's got the Wi-Fi thing, why isn't this, first of all, knocked off? Why are we able to get a video? Because you would think the Wi-Fi jammer would knock the Nest camera from its connection to the Wi-Fi, right? At least that's what I have been, you know, my knowledge of it is that's how they work. I mean, someone please tell me if I'm wrong. But, and as you notice, when he walks up, God dang it, it's not letting me rewind it because I can't get down to the bottom of the screen. But, come on. And see, people are saying that he doesn't have a pen light, but if you watch here in just a moment, you'll see his mouth light up several times, and you'll see the light hit over here in the corner. He has a light in his mouth. Some people are saying that, you know, he doesn't, that it's either a tooth, you know, one of those, like, what they say, either braces or some like a gold tooth like BS. But no, you'll see his light here in just a second. See it right there? And then what I want to know is what happened in between the time that he picked up those plants. What happened to the footage between him walking after he picked them up to the camera? Why did they delete part of that footage? I don't understand why part of that footage was deleted. To me, it just does not make any sense. But I mean, we just saw the pin light. I hate shorts. You can't edit. I mean, you can't stop it when you want. But if you notice here, you'll see his light, and you'll see this area lights up, and he walks in from this direction. Yeah, I can't believe they didn't take the mat, the doormat, didn't take the bracket, because you know he had his fingers near his mouth at one time to put that damn flashlight in his mouth, which and hence means he would have touched the bracket with his fingers, which would have put touch DNA. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But okay, I know everyone has seen this video time and time and time again, but this jacket that he has on, I mean, this is an older style fleece. It's I'm thinking it's called, it's from Walmart. This is one I've mainly been able to see is, it's called Athletic Works. Athletic Works. Something knit jacket. But you'll see the ribbing right here. I mean, these are several I had a friend who had one of these, and it was like probably like good 2018, 19 when they got the jacket. But see how it has the ribbing right here, and the end of the cuffs, you'll notice there is like the white right here. You'll notice that this here is white, and it's not like most jackets where it's like a ribbed elastic around the wrist. It's a what they call a straight sleeve. Oh, post my email. If one of my mods could post my email, please, I'd appreciate it. But I'm going to show you guys here in a few minutes just some of the videos, because I took this video has driven me nuts since it first came out, because there is something right back here, in which when I show you my video it'll be a lot closer, but right here there is something that's been bothering me from day one when we saw this. I have a video editing program that helps me a lot with cleaning up videos, and in my opinion, it looks like there is it's too hard to tell what it is, but there is definitely something there in the background. I'll show you. No, I just gotta find it. Okay. Please tell me that's on the screen. I hope. Okay. Now I'm gonna make this bigger. But right in here in this area, as you can tell, I've already lightened it up once, but you'll see here in just pay attention. And where I'm talking about again is right here. Not this area over here, but right here in the driveway, because you can see this here is the driveway. And another reason why I think there is something sitting there, because you can see there's a little shadow, and you can see everything else that has shadows. It's in the correct spot, facing the correct direction. So there is something sitting in that driveway. You can't tell what it is, but there is something there. And mind you, the camera is right in through here, so it shows direction, like, it V's out from that little opening. The car is probably maybe sitting a little further back than actually where I put it, but there is something right there in that driveway, and it's these trees right here that are causing a lot of shadow play, because it was a little bit windy. Now my question is, if I am stop. Now if I'm able to see that, and I am nobody, you know, hold on, that's video playing in the background. If I'm a nobody, and then I can see that, the flippin' FBI and police who have way better abilities to look at this. I mean, you can clearly see there's a bumper, there's a shadow, there's a door right here, headlight around here. And then the front and the very back of the vehicle. Yeah, I mean, that's what I have a couple of theories about that too, Andrew, is that, you know, they went in through the back. He was like the front person. Basically, his job was to disconnect that camera so they can come out through the front. And to me, it looks like there was a vehicle sitting there because in that video, um, you'll notice a couple of times when he was looking down to pick up that plant, he looks off over his left shoulder and behind him in the direction of where this car is. And then he picks up the plant and then walks forward, and then it cuts, and then next thing we know, he's at the camera. But I went through that video frame by frame by frame by frame. Now, I know we thought it might have been a car, but this is another frame I was able to get. I mean, granted, right here, I'm hoping you guys can see my cursor, but right here could have been a shadow play, but I superimposed a truck. I mean, granted, it's a Chevy that I put on there, but I'm not saying it's a Chevy. I'm just saying it's a truck. It could have been a truck because there's like the rear view, or in the side mirror, the side window, wheel area, truck bed. I just don't think. Hold on, let me get back to the chat. I just don't think they leave the car back there for 40 minutes. They were at this. Well, that's the thing. We don't know when the vehicle was there, but at the time of the camera, I mean, it could be very possible that they could have pulled it because it was dark. And as you saw in the original video, it's very dark back there. That they could have pulled it up, not necessarily that it was sitting there for 40 minutes, you know what I mean? But that it was there. Because, I mean, there is something in the driveway. You can see the shadow of it in the driveway that's blocking being able to see the rest of the driveway. I'm going to talk about that too. I didn't see the garbage can tossed over. I'm not sure where you saw that at, but I have some theories about those marks that were in the driveway. Yeah, it's so dark back there. I mean, they could have pulled up with their headlights off, who knows. But he does look behind him a couple times in that video. And I'm not saying it's a truck. It could be a car. It could be just shadow play right here. And for a moment that it changes the appearance of it. I don't know. I am not a car person. I am anything but a car person. You don't see a truck. I probably could have put it a little darker, but up here at the top, I superimposed a truck over the image. But, let me get back over. But here, there's definitely something here. It's hard to tell what kind of vehicle it is, but you can see, where is it? Let me get a better photo. This here is the driveway, and you should still be able to see the driveway behind, but you cannot. The driveway is blocked by something sitting right here, and there is a shadow of whatever object is sitting there. Yeah, I mean, it does look like he's looking over at someone or something. Now the marks in the driveway. Let me bring up that photo. Okay, here's the marks in the driveway. This could be one of a couple things. My one thought was that because when the police showed up on the 1st, and I'm trying to remember exactly when the FBI showed up, but the homicide, they showed up. It could be very possible that it could have been somebody from the police department having one of these. It's like a case on wheels that they carry their forensic equipment in, with all their stuff that they need to go over it, looking for evidence on the inside of the house. Or it could be one of those garbage cans that you wheel out to the curb. Another thought that I kind of played with is that maybe they brought a garbage. I mean, does anybody know if any of her garbage cans are missing? Or does she have both, her two garbage cans? Are they still there? Maybe they put her in a garbage can to better wheel her from the front door area to the vehicle that was sitting. Where's my photo? To the vehicle that was sitting over here. I mean, because you see the marks come from like this area and move over. And most people keep their garbage cans on the side where their garage is, and her garage is right here. Her walker was in the house. I mean, they never said that her walker was disappearing. They said her walker and her medication was left behind. Yeah, it could be a wheelchair, but then I don't know. I mean, that's another thought. I mean, it could be. But the size of the track marks don't exactly, because there's only two wheels. You don't see the little wheels in the front. You only see two sets of wheels. That's why, in my opinion, it's not a wheelchair. And I so wish I could blow this up. But you only see two tracks. You don't see the smaller inner wheels that they have at the front of the wheelchair. That's why I'm thinking maybe it might be a garbage can or a CSI kit being brought in, wheeled in, or it could be a hand truck. Without the exact measurements of these drag marks, it's going to be impossible for any of us to know. But that's one of the things why I think that the porch guy, he was there to possibly cover up her being brought out. His job was to get rid of the camera. So when they brought her out, because we know she went out the front door because there's blood drops by the door on the outside, which still baffles me as to why they did not take any of the plants that were still there at the front door, why they didn't take the doormat, for crying out loud, and why they didn't take the bracket off the wall where the camera was attached to. Yeah, whatever made those marks, it was heavy, which, makes me think that it could possibly, my mother has a gravel driveway like that, and when you drag her cans out like that, from that photo, they look very comparable to the width of it. So, maybe put her in a big suitcase. Yeah, that too. But to me, it seems, I don't know. I'm just throwing out the garbage can thing because that would be something easily accessible, not something that they'd have to bring with them. It's easily accessible. Bring her through there. Have they checked her garbage cans? Does she have them? Did they look inside of her garbage cans? Was there blood on any of the garbage cans? And of course, they're not going to tell us. We have no idea what's going on there. And it's frustrating. It's super, super frustrating. This whole case is just like driving me insane. Sheriff released crime scene way too. Yeah, oh yeah, and that's another thing. The second day, he released the crime. He ended the search on the second day. On May 2nd, he canceled the search. So in Nancy's neighborhood, there's several washes in her neighborhood. Why haven't they searched any of those? I don't understand. You would think that would be one of the first things that they would have searched. Besides going door to door. And from what information I remember seeing is that mainly the cops just went door to door. Didn't go through washes and all that stuff. And on the search, I still have no idea where they even went on the searches. Um, yeah, and then, I mean, they released the scene, and then what, a couple days later, they taped it back up because the FBI was there? I mean, in between that time, there was so much traffic that, I mean, we had that DoorDash person, not any of JLR's fault. I mean, JLR didn't know anybody was sending him a DoorDash. They walk up to the front door. Um, and then what, last week, that lady walked straight up to the front door and was taking photos. I mean, this, in most cases I have ever seen, the entire house is, or access to the house, like where they had it taped off before, would be still taped off throughout the investigation to keep people from going in and out, you know, messing up the crime scene. No, they did have search dogs, I guess, on the first, but they canceled them on, you know, they canceled everything on the second. And those dogs apparently didn't find anything past Nancy's house, you know. But let me show you this, a map of Nancy's house. And I can show you. Okay, this is Nancy's house. It's like where I'm saying that vehicle was sitting was like right about here. But let me zoom out a little bit. A little further. There is a couple washes. If I remember right, part of this area is not private owned. There, it's a Pima County owned property. And oops. Oh my God! Come on, let go. And right in through here is another wash. I mean, have they walked through this area? I mean, this is a long area right in here between these two, you know, all these houses. Nobody knows if they searched there, if or what. I mean, I can tell you for one thing, I have searched many, many, many washes, and I know a lot of the other YouTubers have themselves. I've searched what the one that I showed on my live was on the Swan Bridge area, and yeah, that one's that one's very wide. I mean, that one was way bigger than I thought it was. But the other washes, you know, the dirt in the wash area is super soft, very sandy and very deep sand, easy to dig. Any of the areas like by her house or any other flat areas that is not a wash, the ground, what it is, there's such a high mineral content in the soil in Arizona, and with the monsoons and everything, it dissolves the minerals and they sink down and create a concrete type like layer underneath the soil, not very far down. And it takes a lot to get through that that section of soil. So digging out somewhere in the desert, not only is it the soil is going to be hard to get through, but there's massive rocks throughout the whole entire thing. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to dig out there. That's why, to me, a wash would be the most easiest way to get rid of something, because the sand is super deep, super soft, easy to dig in, you know. And there's quite a few areas in Nancy's, like all this here is a wash. And as you can see, it's not far from Nancy's home, just a couple streets. Normally a missing person's case, the local authorities, yes, they encourage people to do searches. And what's so frustrating is that, if anything, Nanos has really discouraged anybody from doing any type of searches. when we had that one organized search several weeks back, um, a lot of people didn't show because the night before it was told to everybody that, you can't be out there searching, you got to have a permit, blah 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 blah. Then they retract that, and just said that they strongly discourage it. I think I would go full outlaw search at night. UV lights, people don't. Yeah, I mean, the the thing about searching at night, a lot of critters like the javelina and javelina are super mean, and they don't have a breeding season. They almost always have babies in um, their little herd, whatever you call them. And sometimes when they have those babies, they are extremely protective and can be very vicious. Um, yeah, I don't. I wonder the same thing. If what Savannah thinks about this whole case. Now, I have. I don't know exactly how I feel about the Cajun Navy. I've seen two different things that happened with them. I think the organization as a whole started off to be really, really good and doing what they say that they're doing. With the one that showed up, it felt more like a photo op opportunity. He would appear on a few people who were doing searches, do a photo op, and then disappear. Saying that we're out here doing this, blah, 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 but they were only out there for like 20 minutes and then they'd be gone. You wouldn't see them anymore. So I have mixed feelings about them. The neighbors aren't even going to do any candlelight vigils for you. I know. And the one candlelight vigil that we did do, it was really discouraging that very few people, if anybody besides the YouTubers, actually showed up. To me, a vigil is a place for everybody to get together and pray for, the missing person, that they will be returned. Well, some people said that vigils are for when someone's dead or that is known to be passed on. I've always thought they were basically as everyone to get together and to pray for hopefully the return and everybody be together as a community. But yeah, I mean, there has not been one vigil besides that one that was done, and no big searches. I mean, you hear of any of these other cases that someone goes missing, that there's days and days and days of groups of people searching, physically walking on the ground, searching in different areas. To be fair, the Candle Hope Gathering thing, yeah, Dad's Gone Lime organized it. Yeah, it was kind of poorly organized. I mean, it was just a last minute thing, I guess he said, which I think he should have said it that night and then waited another time. Nate should not have been the next day. It should have been the day after or so, just to give it some more time so people would actually hear about it. But I did see it on X a few times too, so, but it needed to be more publicized. I mean, the news didn't even get a chance to even know anything about it until that day. I'm glad you're actually looking about some of these are freaking YouTubers. Yeah, I mean, some of them are. For me, I only went live when something actually was happening. Like, I normally didn't videotape my searches because they're boring. I mean, they really are. I mean, you're looking at the ground searching. The only reason why I did last time is because I was by myself, and just in case anything happened. Okay, great, thank you. I'll look at my and just in case anything happened, my mods knew where I was. So, but lucky for me, that day there was absolutely no homeless out there, not a one. So, but this whole everyone's been so discouraged to look or give. I mean, what was the rate they put? A 1.5 mile radius for camera footage when they asked for the camera footage was just bonkers. How come you're not blue? What happened? Let me check my email real quick. Give me just 1 second. Oh, no. Okay, who am I looking for the GTV investigates? Okay, I got 2 things sent to me here. Let me see what this first one is. Oh yeah, I was gonna go over that video of the person that was next, just a few houses down. Yeah, I'm gonna go over that one too. I'm actually going to show, who's it? Doug Live Northport. He did a pretty good video on, the guy that had the 2 backpacks, in which I originally dismissed that live or that video footage because, for one, to me the guy looked a little too thin to be him, but he does show a few important possibilities. But before I go into that one, I want to just state for a moment that, okay, we know Nancy had a camera on her front door. That camera was not hardwired to electricity. You can see, oh, damn it, I had that photo and I think I accidentally deleted it. But we'll see in Doug's video. You'll see that the bracket, and there's 2 wires kind of curled around the top, but weren't connected to anything. To me, I think Nancy was more likely operated by batteries. They were saying that possibility that between the guy with the 2 backpacks that was supposedly that night, but the timeline didn't fit right. It was there was not enough time. And that they're thinking that maybe their cameras had the wrong time on it. My only thing is that usually, I mean, I know of everything that I have a watch that when I turn it on or when I set it up and stuff, it connects to Wi-Fi and it automatically changes the time and keeps it to the current accurate time. And they're saying that maybe Nancy's, because hers was battery operated, that it had the wrong time on it. I don't see it that way. It's hard for me to believe it to be true, because if her camera was connected to her Wi-Fi, it's going to automatically update the time. And I don't know about the other people. I mean, it could be true. I don't know. I hate this case. There's so much misinformation about so many things. It's maddening. My cameras are battery and they have the right time. Yeah, well, yeah, usually because they connect via Wi-Fi. Did FBI go check stinky tent in the golf course? DLR? Probably not. I mean, more than likely that tent is probably an abandoned. There's a lot of tents like that you'll see around there. And JLR basically said it stunk like, not like in something being dead, but other type of stench, just nasty. Basically a personal toilet out there. Let me show. Is it this one? Okay, this one. Okay, this is Doug Live Northport. Let me drop the link. So you guys can watch this anytime on your own. Yeah, if you've ever smelled a dead body, it's a smell you'll never forget. But I don't think that was the type of smell that he was saying that was coming from that tent. It's basically because there's no bathrooms, so those areas where tents usually are ratchet. I mean, they stink something horrible. Hey, Bone Crusher. Nighttime searches would be great to be. Yeah, but it's a little too hard to. And then the scorpions come out at night. The javelinas come out at night. I'm not too worried about the coyotes, but the snakes come out at night. And yeah, and big cats come out at night. So it's I'd rather go during the day, heat or no heat or no heat. But it's okay. But here is oh crap, what was his name? Doug Live Northport. He did a pretty interesting video, and I hope please don't strike me for using your video. I did drop your link, so please be nice. But he does bring up a few kind of things that are interesting.
This is the full view we didn't see. And what I saw almost gave me a heart attack. Look to the upper left corner of the video.
Right here.
What do you see? It's really hard to see, but I got it blown up here. And you're not going to believe the biggest detail we all missed. That would be a white Kia Soul.
Remember in that one video, the most recent car video where they said the cars were passing by, that they said they were thinking that it was a Kia Soul. So that's kind of real interesting about this vehicle right here.
To the left, upper left corner, where this guy is trying to get into the back of the gate.
Right, truth above.
I lightened it up so you can know. This is actually what a Kia Soul looks like. Now,
I mean, could this, where'd it go? Could that vehicle be the same as, where'd it go? As this one that's sitting out there? I don't know. I mean, there's so much shadow play on it that it's really kind of hard to tell. But it could be possible. Like I said, I am not a car person. I don't pretend to know anything about cars or trucks or shapes, but I don't know. But he does come up with a few really good pointers here.
now I'm going to show you what that actual video that we did not have right here, the wider view.
Right.
You can see the car to the upper left, the white Kia Soul. The car that was actually seen on video after Nancy was taken. Oh, and right here, you see him trying to get into the right side, the left side. He didn't know how to get into this gate. People said, well, this was his house. He's cleared. This is not his house. The people that sent this in said this guy was trying to get into our backyard. That's why he didn't know how to open the gate, because it's not his house. People said it was his house. I literally almost had a heart attack when I saw this. When I saw this Kia Soul in the corner that I never saw before. Maybe before we didn't know about the Kia Soul. I think this came.
Oh, Trailer Bud, I have no problem sharing anybody else who's showing this case and dropping their links. Because, I mean, a lot of people out there are doing some really good work out there showing things that a lot of people might have missed. Because I'll tell you one thing, when I saw the original of this video, I wasn't looking back here in the back for a vehicle sitting out there. I'm sure glad he did. And like, I'm sure that a lot of people wasn't looking for a vehicle sitting in Nancy's driveway either. You know, I just happened to notice that there was something there. There's so much information that is all over the place in this case. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do need a diagram like the CSI.
About later. But once I saw this, my face was red. I was ready to have a heart attack. I really took a long time to calm down.
This is the other video I was talking about. You'll see in a minute a vehicle fly from this direction all the way from your left to your right. And it does look like a Kia. I mean, originally the vehicle that I thought was in Nancy's driveway with the porch guy video, I thought it was like an SUV type-ish car. couldn't tell exactly, you know. And to me, a Kia is kind of like an SUV type-ish car because, you know, that's I'm a girl. That's the way I think of it.
Now this is the video in front of the house that recorded cars going back and forth. I think there was 12, and then the one leaving after Nancy was taken. This is a white Kia Soul, and after I saw this is the one from the video we just watched, back behind the guy. I mean, when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. What are the odds? And I also looked up if the Ring camera can have the wrong times because they said it was only 5 minutes. The time that they saw him to the time the thing went off, and Nancy had a battery powered. It wasn't even wired, and the internet was off there. So who knows what the time was? You can't judge this whole thing by the time. People arguing about the details of this video we show by the garbage can, saying, "Oh, he doesn't have facial hair." Well, that looks like he has facial hair to me.
Yeah.
That looks like a
I
goat.
mean, his eyebrows are even thin eyebrows. I wish there was a direct, like looking directly straight ahead. That would help so much. Because in a few minutes, I mean, I'm going to show you a short that I did about. Granted, yes, I use loot dailies, but I mean, I put all kinds of disclaimers. I'm not saying that it 100% is loot daily. I'm just saying it's kind of a quinky dink that a lot of things kind of match up. You know what I mean? But I mean, this, I don't know. Without looking at his eyes directly right on, it's hard to tell.
Goatee. Does that not look like he has a goatee?
This doesn't look.
And this is a blurry. This is a video that's far away. This is up on a house, probably 20 feet away. Oh, and here they said, oh, he had. Here's his two hoodies.
And yes,
the two hoodies he had on looks like a black one and the gray one. They said he didn't have that when he went in front of the doorbell. It's not the same guy. He didn't have a hoodie. Well, look right here. Look above the backpack. That's the back of a hoodie. That's not. He doesn't have a.
Yeah, he absolutely did have a hoodie on.
A 6-inch neck with hair on it. That's a hoodie on top of the backpack. There's another angle. See the top of the backpack? That's a hoodie. I don't know if it's the black one or the gray one, but that's definitely
bonkers. With your saying about his ears, if you ever notice, Luke LD has very low set ears. I'll show you here all in a few minutes as to what I'm talking about, but you can see where the ears are on the person with the mask, and there's so I'm trying to word this in a way that where I won't be in trouble because, you know, saying that it is him, because I'm not saying it is him. I'm just saying a lot of the characteristics match up. So, you know, but we'll go over that here in a minute after this video.
only a hoodie. People that said it wasn't. And people said this is a water bottle in his pocket. I tell you what, that sure looks like a holster with a.
Now, I'm not sure if that looks like a holster to me, because let me look at something here real quick. Because I thought, please tell me I put that photo of him standing. Oh, shitballs. No, I didn't. I could have swore I put it on there. Let me find that photo of him standing at the door where you can see his gun. Because I don't remember it being that white. Come on. Sorry, my computer is being super slow. Well, you know, I might take that back. Oh my god, come on, computer. Let me share this real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Sorry, guys, my computer decided it wanted to go super slow here at the second. But let's see. I'm trying to get a bigger image here. There we go. Well, what happened to the photo? See, I don't know if that looks a lot different than what was showing in that guy's pocket to me. I mean, let me stop that one. Let me put that Doug's back up. To me, that looks a lot different. I don't know. I mean, could be, possibly. I mean, I can see where he's saying that that could be, but let me download this one photo so I can bring it up on the screen. And of course, it's not good. All right, my computer's wanting to be a bitch. You have tons of holsters, and not one of them ties closed. Yeah, I mean, just this here is what's the shape of this, and what this is right here on the bottom is like a loop. It just doesn't look right. But I mean, the photo is very grainy. Yeah, the great one. I'm gonna go over that video too, and that whole thing there in and of itself is just really sus to me. But let me go ahead and finish playing this.
Strap wrapped around it. To me, if you ask me, that's not a water bottle. I zoomed in because I started thinking, oh, they're right, that's a water bottle. And then I zoomed in. This isn't made up photo. This is actual photo. I zoomed in. That's not a water bottle. It did look like it when it was bouncing in his coat. Then you have these. If you look real close, look at the backpack.
I mean, look at how stuffed that backpack is. I mean, that is like almost exactly what the porch guy's backpack was, like perfectly stuffed. The only thing is, I haven't seen on the front of it if it was the same. I guess they're saying that this right here, this white area, is where because that one backpack, it had those reflectors on it. That could be like one of the straps that you see that from. I'm not sure. You're laughing at my shitballs. I'm sorry.
Reflector. People said, "Oh, the backpack didn't have a reflector." Well, you can't see it in the daylight, but when he turned it towards the back in the dark, then you could see the reflector. That's on the strap. So everything that people said, "Oh,"
just to me, he just looks too thin to be the guy on the porch. I mean, the guy on the porch looks way stouter, if you know what I mean. This guy just seems too thin. I don't know. Maybe he could be the guy that was in the still photo. I don't know. But to me, I dismissed this one because he looked too thin to me. But I don't know.
well, this can't be. Well, yes, it can be. Right here, look at this. I mean, look at the pocket. I'm not talking about the coat. I'm talking about the pants. Either he's happy to see the gate, or there's something in his pocket that looks like a weapon, like a weapon. So,
Yeah,
I mean, am I wrong here? This is all a coincidence. And here you can see his hand. I don't know if that's blood. Looks like something red on his hand.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Looks like he's reaching to his front. And here you can see it. Like he's holding his coat shut or something. I don't know what that is. You can see his hand though. Now here's another
one-
crazy video.
This one here is kind of odd. I haven't driven down Nancy's neighborhood yet in the past couple of days, but I was going to drive down to see exactly where this house is, because that's a very distinct driveway. But this is supposedly just down the road from her. And this was on the 19th, February 19th, that this person starts walking down this driveway. I don't know if it's, I mean, I can't really say one way or the other as 100% sure, but in my opinion, the person looks, well, I'll let you guys see and I'll show you what I'm
video. I can't figure this out. It's 0.4 miles, so it's really close to
good.
Nancy
Oh, that's
Guthrie's
right next
house.
door.
At about 3 a.m. on the 19th. That's a few weeks after this whole thing. This is in her neighborhood. Look at the Mercedes that's lit up on the ground. So that means someone tried to get in or someone got.
That is true. Someone tried to open the doors, because you can see the headlights here are on and the interior lights are on.
Out of the car, and you can see this is just a photo, and you can see the cars lit up inside. So now watch the video and listen to this person walk.
Either this is a very bad angle of the person, but the person looks way heavier set and not as tall. That's why I thought I'm not seeing it as completely connected. I mean, granted, they are wearing a gray jacket or a gray shirt. It's kind of hard to tell. But I don't know, their walk doesn't look quite right, and they look a lot heavier set. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not some, like FBI freaking person who knows, all this shit. I'm just saying by my observations. But I mean, I don't know. But in my opinion, it's not exactly the porch guy. Almost walks like a girl.
And I don't know if the homeowner called the cops or what, but now the cops are coming right here. I don't know if the alarm set it off or why the cops are coming.
No, this can't be right next door, because see this median right here that the cop drove by? There's only a few places in this neighborhood where it has like an island in between, the left and right hand side of the road. And Nancy, this looks like one of the cul-de-sacs. Because most of the cul-de-sacs has this little island in them. I don't know. I'll have to go check.
Okay, I gotta play this again. Look close at this guy.
Right.
It looks like there's something huge in his coat, like sticking out 2 or 3 feet in the back. And he's got the backpack. If you look close, he's got the reflector. It's got the reflector. It looks like the same outfit that he was wearing. And the backpack, I don't know if it was, did you hear it clanking?
See this right here. This is an island. And a lot of the cul-de-sacs have these islands as you're driving it, because it looks like there might be another island right here. But I mean, there are some streets in there that has these little islands that separate the left and the right-hand side of the road. But from my walking around in there and stuff, most of those only happen in cul-de-sacs. I'll have to look, because I don't remember this brick and stuff being the house that's right next door. But, I could be wrong, but I know that there is no island on the road to Nancy's house unless it's one of the cul-de-sac streets.
I don't know if it was shovels or sounded like pots and pans, but his coat was sticking out 2 feet in the back. Something's fishy. They need to check behind this guy's house where the camera is. Something's really fishy here.
See, that's the thing. There is a lot of homeless people who wander around these streets up there. I mean, I think it's become a brutal wake up call to a lot of these neighbors that their streets are not as safe as they thought they were. Um, the homeless come out like cockroaches at night. I mean, they're everywhere. Um, and a lot of these neighborhoods, I mean, you'll see them walking around all over the place. Not, granted, a lot of them aren't doing anything wrong. They're just trying to get from point A to point B, but there are a few of them that are up to no good, you know. But that person there that was walking in that video, I don't know.
I don't get this. Look at his coat. It's literally sticking out 2 feet. What is this?
See, to me, it looks like a girl, like with long hair, longish hair right here. I don't know. I'd have to get this video, clean it up myself to kind of maybe see. But yeah, they obviously have something tied around the waist, but I don't know. They just look heavier set to me than the person on the porch guy.
He's just a few blocks from Nancy's house on the 16th, unless it's that night. I don't know, unless the time's wrong or the date's wrong. Because it said the time and date can be off.
Yeah,
But I'm assuming it's the 19th. Did he come back? Was he in her backyard? Was he in this guy's backyard? Was he in his car? Did he try to get in his car? Is that his car? This case will never be cold. It will be solved. The Pima County Sheriff's Department has multiple people on this case, and we also have the FBI. They are all working very hard.
The only thing that frustrates me is that nobody has done searches. The only people who have done searches is people like me, the YouTubers who, and regardless of what some people have said, we have done searches. I mean, we found JLR and Dad's Gone Live, and I found the barrel that was floating in the water. JLR and Jim found the pair of pants, and the FBI actually, I'm pretty sure the Sheriff's Department came by and picked up those pants. Regardless of what someone's saying, they were picked up. Actually, the Sheriff's Department has been very good, actually, by coming, when a tip comes in that they need something looked at or someone found something, they actually have gone and looked. From all the other searchers I've known that have gone out there, whenever they've had to call, they have came. So people need to kind of realize that they are going out there. They might not get there like right away, but they are getting out there. Because I mean, Pima County Sheriff cover a huge area. So, but yeah, those pants were picked up. They actually drove all the way out there to Reddington Pass and looked at that barrel that was floating in the water, in which I'm glad to say that it was nothing but, someone explained it to me that basically, I'll show you, that this barrel really was just a, I guess a lot of farmers and stuff use, see, I'm not a farmer, but a lot of farmers use these things to judge how deep their watering ponds are. But this also wasn't a full-size 50-gallon drum. It was only a quarter barrel. I guess it was like chopped or whatever. And it was full of mud, so it basically, what I was told is that they put these out in the water so they can look from a distance without having to go all the way down there to see the water levels, but they can see where the barrel is at and judge the water levels. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I'm not a farmer, so I don't know, but yeah, that was out there, and there's a lot of shooting that goes on out there, a lot of target practices. So that bullet box that we found, I didn't put a lot of stock into that, because there's a lot of people who go out to this area and shoot at targets a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, the whole entire time that we were out there, you could hear shots. But yeah, this was the pond. I mean, this is This picture here is bigger than it actually was. I'd probably take off a good portion of that because it was pretty dry out there at the time. But that's where the barrel was floating, was out there. So I mean, there are people searching. Granted, yeah, I noticed that a lot of people gave us flack for when we went up to Rose Canyon Lake because they went up to the ski resort first. You got to think that, especially for them, they've been sitting out there day to day, 12 hours a day, doing coverage. You know, personally, I think they were entitled to have a little bit of a reprieve, to have just, relax for a moment. And because we already knew that when we went to Rose Canyon Lake, that you guys were not going to be able to see anything during the live because it was going to be a hike. And we'll go over that video too. But it was a hike to get in there. And there was no cell service, nothing. I had to videotape mine and then upload it later. But I mean, everyone was, bitching about, going up to the ski resort. For one, we stopped along the way, all the way up there, looking at things, possible scenarios, let's say, that could have happened. I personally don't think they would have gone that far because there's way too much not traffic, but way too many hikers and stuff during the day. There's, a million different hiking trails all over there. And if they would, for the lack of better words, dumped her off out there, a hiker would have seen her. There would have been bird sign, vultures circling in the air. It would have been noticed. So to me, this wouldn't have happened. But I've never been to Rose Canyon Lake. I didn't even know there was one up there. So, I mean, that could have been a possibility. But, yeah, I'll show you eventually that there's no way in hell that was possible. No way.
Hard on this case. Everyone, please say a prayer tonight for Nancy and the entire family. Right. If you can hear me, if the kidnapper is watching this, please bring her home. Let her go. And if that's not the case, let the family know where she is.
Okay, I'm going to drop the link again to this video. This is Doug Live, Northport. So let me drop that link to his video again. Did I fix my tire? No, bonkers. I gotta wait to fix it. I gotta wait till I get paid. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit. I have. I'm not even gonna go into the freaking crap I've had to deal with that stupid car. I hate my car. No, I don't hate it. Just seems like everything fell apart at once. Let's see here. Now, what was the other? Let me get back on track here. I lost my train of thought. Where's my notes? Oh, okay. Now, the short I'm going to show you is basically an example of facial features with the person with the mask. So I'm not stating 100% or stating that anybody is guilty in this video. I'm just stating, because everything is publicly accessible. All photos were pulled from public. They weren't, snuck in or, gotten by other way. Oh, sorry, I gotta find it first though. I got too many windows open. Where did it go? Sons of a bitch. Oh, there it is. Okay. I've got to close some of these windows when we're done here. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to find it on my stupid window. Where'd it go? Nope, nope, nope. What in the hell? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Sheesh. Okay. Let me. Did this share? Please tell me you guys can see it. Yes? No? Can you guys see the screen that just popped up? I hope. Somebody tell me. Okay, I'm going to go on the assumption that you guys can see the screen that I just brought up. Okay, thank you, Sky. Okay, here you go. Yeah, it's like I'm saying here, before we start this segment, I want to make it very clear, this is not an accusation, this is not an identification, this is not claiming any individual is involved in this crime. We are looking at publicly available images that are online and have been discussing and only pointing out general visual similarities. Nothing shown here proves identity. Only law enforcement can determine that. I read faster than the thing goes. Please do not contact, harass, or speculate about any person shown. Everyone is presumed innocent unless officially identified by authorities. Now, what people online have been pointing out, there are a few visible features, not proof, just visual characteristics. We are going to slow this down and look at shape only, not who the person is, and not what anyone thinks. Okay. Now, notice the ear here, his ears, and then wait till the bump from the mask. The bump from the mask. Eyebrows. The mouth. The shape. You know, it's too hard for me to say absolutely 100% not. There are, in my opinion, a lot of similarities. I am not law enforcement. I'm not saying 100% this is LD. I'm just pointing out a lot of the similarities. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I got a flat tire when I was out there. So be clear, this video does not claim the person in these images are the same individual. This is simply documenting similarities viewers have discussed while the investigation remains ongoing. I mean, I'm absolutely... Only authorities can release confirmed information. That is what matters, not internet perceptions. Oh, sorry. Okay, now it's starting back over. But I mean, there are similarities. A lot of people were saying that it was Tommaso. I do not think, 100% do not think Tommaso was involved as the porch guy or whoever was in the house. His body shape, his facial features do not match. And granted, in every case, they always look at the family or the last person they were seen with first. I mean, I get that. I understand that. As what information that we have now or currently or that we've been able to determine, I don't see them as involved. But now the Kayla Day and Luke, that's a whole nother can of worms that you could run down, and you could be down that slippery slope for days. In his interview, in my opinion, which we're going to watch right now, he was not correct, or he did not tell the 100% truth, because he says he hasn't been in trouble in over 2 years, but just December of 2025, which was just a few months prior to this, he got arrested. He and Kayla got arrested in the Walmart parking lot for having over a couple $1,000s in cash, some pills, some other drug paraphernalia, and guns. So, and he says that he does not know who Kayla is, never met her before. It's a matter of opinion, I guess you could say. Okay, here's Luke's interview. And before I play this, I want to. Now, someone put out photos. What was it called? That Luke's photos. That was what, behind the scenes. Damn it. My N keys keep sticking, and I get like 3 or 4 N's every time I type. Because, yeah, I saw a couple funky images that kind of came out. I mean, this dude is like covered from head to toe, and a button-up shirt, buttoned at the cuffs, and a shirt that's buttoned all the way up to the neck, and a vest. It was very peculiar, something to wear at the time of this video, because it was very warm that day. God, why is that picture so small? Every photo I find and I try to click on it, it's like an itty bitty photo. But you'll see in the interview what he's wearing. I was going to try to show what he looked like when he was standing up, but hey, Graham, you're not late. It's okay. But this interview, I mean, granted, okay, I will give him one thing. He's probably not used to being interviewed on a national freaking news station where thousands of people, and not only that, you know, it's going to be put out all over the freaking internet through YouTube and TikTok and X and Instagram. But watch his eyes, for one. Watch his face. He is sweating, in my opinion, sweating bullets. It's just, this whole interview, it just doesn't sound good. It's not a good thing.
Are the person on the surveillance video, the abductor, the masked person. Is that you?
It's not me. I don't see the resemblance of it looking like me.
Also, notice his face. He has completely shaved his beard, goatee, whatever he might have had. I mean, it's all gone. Everything. His shirt is buttoned up to his neck. And he's got a vest over the top of it. And the sleeves that he's wearing are buttoned. The cuffs are buttoned all the way around his wrist. There was like no way anybody was going to be able to see anything on his wrist. As like if someone was looking for a certain tattoo.
But absolutely not. I have nothing to do with this case.
Nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea who is involved in the abduction?
I don't. If I did, I would happily tell FBI, police, anything.
I hear you. I definitely hear you.
I mean, I, like everyone else, just want Nancy to come home and be safe. But that being said, I have nothing to do with this case, and that's it.
Explain to me what happened on the night you were detained, where you were.
Listen,
you're with your car.
Quickly.
How did that unfold in your eyes?
So I was driving home. I noticed 2 sheriff vehicles following me. They pulled me over at the Culvers right there. Asked me to get out of the car. Didn't tell me what it was about. So they had me cuffed in the back of a cop car, detained. I was asking, like, what am I being detained for. And they wouldn't tell me anything. They just said that the detectives would be there to talk to me. And once I saw like FBI and all the other cars start pulling in, I'm like, oh, this is probably about the Guthrie case.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, he was pulled over on the 13th. Nancy Guthrie disappeared on the 1st. If you have nothing to do with whatever to do with Nancy Guthrie case, but you are known, first of all, felon who has been arrested for drugs or anything of those type. My question is, why is the first thing that he said that he assumed they pulled him over for was the Nancy Guthrie case? Why would that be his first thought? To me, if I was him, my first thought was like, oh shit, they must think I got something on me again and pulling me over, thinking I got drugs or guns or something on me. If I had nothing to do with the Nancy Guthrie, that would not be my first thought. Oh, they must be pulling me over because of Nancy Guthrie case. That little statement right there does not make any sense, because he said they did not tell him why they pulled him over, that he was being detained. He saw the FBI come up, and then the first thought into his head was, oh, this must be about Nancy Guthrie. I'm not. I mean, right wing's the last thing I'd assume when being ran down by the FBI law enforcement was a major missing persons case. Exactly. That was his first. That's what he is saying in this interview. That is what he thought they were pulling him over. But why would they pull him over if he had nothing to do with it? Why would that be his first thought? It just no bueno.
Like, this should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with this, so it should be not a big deal to clear my name and move on.
Why would he do a voluntary news interview? To try to clear his name, to try to put, everyone at ease that it's not him, in my opinion. Who knows if his lawyer advised him to do this? I don't know. But personally, I think it was a bad idea, because he messes up several times in this. But I mean, look at his forehead. It's starting to get shinier and shinier. And pretty soon you'll notice his eyes that he is always looking down and to the left. He hardly looks at her in the eyes. There's just this whole thing was not a good look. If I was his attorney, I would have definitely asked, what were going to be the interview questions, because this was a shit show. This did not look good for him, in my opinion.
But the whole time during the questioning,
yeah, and he shaved.
Didn't really seem like more of like a fishing expedition for them to try to get me to say something, because all the dates I was telling them where I was, things like that.
So
I'm like, all you'd have to do is look at my phone and see my location. It was nowhere near anywhere or have any connection to this. But still, it was tough, like being there. Like, I mean, I don't trust the FBI to the extent that I'm like thinking that there's pressure on this case.
DJ Moore, yeah, he does have curly eyebrows. I told you, I mean, I know several men who basically naturally, I mean, they don't have their eyebrows, they don't have, the pet, plucked or anything. They naturally grow some of them. Most girls would be just like, screw you, I hate you for having such perfect eyebrows. I know a few guys that are like that. But yeah, his eye, just the mouth.
And they want to find the person. So like the whole time while I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, I'm like panicking, thinking that I'm going to be framed for this, or they're trying to pin this.
Also knows how low set the ears were in the guy in the mask. You could see where the ears are, where they're pressed. I don't know, guys, but he lies several times in this interview. And then him saying that they pulled me over for the Nancy Guthrie case, that being your first thought in your head, is just very sus.
Saw me somehow.
Did they tell you what led them to you? I mean, something made them believe they needed to talk to you about it. What was that?
Right?
I asked them. They didn't tell me any information about that. And have thought of any type of reason why they could have come after me. But
They're afraid of going to frame them.
there's nothing, and I think that's why they didn't tell me.
Were you in the area of the home at the time, like the overnight, or would it have been something like, we've tracked this person near the
Well,
abduction
I
scene?
live near her house, but I mean,
And yes, he lives very, 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 very close to her. As the crow flies, less than a mile. I mean, not even a mile. But with the way those roads are, if you did it as traveling by road, a little over a mile. But yeah.
I didn't even know that until after the fact. Like, I barely just learned where her actual house was in relation to mine.
I don't know if he missed his court
So I
date.
didn't even know.
Had you ever met her?
No.
Can you put up a picture of the masked man? And yeah, hold on. I've got one somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't. It's going to cover the. I hate StreamYard. If someone can tell me of a better system to use besides StreamYard, please tell me which one. Because, yeah, I can't manipulate or move anything. It just pops it up on the screen and I'm stuck with it. But there's the mask guy. There's Luke. Mask. Luke. So it's I mean, if you look on my channel, there is a short that does the whole video of the mask and all that stuff. Excuse me. You can go look at it's a short, one of the very first ones that'll pop up.
Did you know who she was?
I knew who she was because my mother was following the case. But in terms of other than that, I would just go off what my mother was telling me.
And so how long were you detained for?
Probably.
Sorry, you guys. I don't mean to keep stopping this, but Lisa, I found something that kind of threw me for a loop. Is it this? No, that wasn't it. No, this is it. Okay, it says Luke Daly, also referred to as Matt Daly in some context, is in the Tucson, Arizona area. So I'm not 100%. I'm confused now because I'm not 100% sure that his brother's name is Matt, because this article was referring that Luke Daly also referred to in some context as Matt Daly. So I'm not sure. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop it for that, but I remembered that now. Hold on.
Maybe 4 or 5 hours.
In the back of that car the whole time? And they searched your Range Rover extensively?
Yeah, they searched Range Rover. They towed my Range Rover.
Yeah, Kim, both are adopted.
Did all DNA testing or whatever, and then gave it back to me. Took my cell phone. I've had.
I'm sorry to stop it again. I know I know sometimes it's really irritating, but from what I understand, his brother, either it be by blood or adopted, he is doing well for himself. He doesn't have a criminal background. From what I'm trying to remember where I saw that, but he isn't the criminal that he doesn't have Luke's past. We'll put it that way. Excuse me. From what I understand, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that for a fact, but I'm just saying what I thought I remembered. I heard, but do you know anything about him having the gun accident? His brother. Are you talking about? Okay, guys. I'm gonna correct this right now. Okay. That night on the 13th, everyone was saying, well, not everyone, Dolly Vision was saying that someone pew-pewed themselves and off themselves as they were being pursued or when they were pulled over or whatever. That did not happen. What Dolly ran up on was there was two pedestrian hit and run pedestrian. The one that Dolly Vision ran up on was a hit and run pedestrian. Had absolutely nothing to do with this case. Absolutely nothing. When he put that out there, that threw a massive rumorville that the brother or whoever else was at that house escaped in a van or whatever and off themselves. No, that did not. That didn't happen. What happened is they went to the house, detained the mother and the brother at the home. Luke was at the Carver's restaurant getting food, I guess. They followed him out and then pulled him over there. But as to someone shooting themselves, I checked all police logs and everything for that night. Nothing like that was involved with this case that I have been able to find. And I've searched several. No, not the Dolly situation. This is a new recent situation. Oh, recent situation? Oh, I apologize. I'm not sure then, Lisa. If you find that, Lisa, if you email it to me, I'd be more than happy to look it over because okay, nothing to do with that night. Yes, anything that's happened about that later on, I am not too sure. I haven't heard anything, but that don't mean shit. I mean, I do have a personal life and shit that I'm trying to take care of and work in my personal life, so I don't get to listen to everything all the time. But yeah, if you are able to find that, I would greatly appreciate if you could email that to me. I would actually like to look that over because I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm sorry if I thought you were talking about that night. I apologize.
No way to get a hold of anyone, which is probably a good thing because everyone's looking at me like I'm this person that I'm not. So it's been rough.
You got your car back
Yes.
in rough condition, or was it?
Oh, Mark the Shark.
Was it okay?
Well, when I went to pick it up, like it wouldn't start. They, I guess they drained the battery down, and it was just covered in the whatever white substance that they use for testing. But yeah, then I got it started up, and it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't damaged in terms of like repairs or anything. But
So when they released you, what did they say?
I'll have
They
to
say
ask
you're
them.
free? Did they say never mind? I mean, what was the verbiage there from them?
they had just told me that they were still at my house, so I couldn't go home. But they drove me somewhere near the house and just dropped me off. I was like, well, I don't have a phone. How am I supposed to figure out when I can go back to the house? They basically said, you're just going to have to figure that out. So, I mean, I waited just where they dropped me off at for maybe an hour or so. I had a friend that lived near the area, and I walked over there. They weren't home.
I just sent.
So I was just waiting, like basically just on their patio. And then it got to the point where I'm like, well, they should be done by now. I walked back to my house, and this was like the worst part for me is getting there and seeing the house torn up. But the worst part was my mom not being there and her being elderly and having AFib and things like that. I'm thinking the worst. Like I see her car's here, but she's not there. And I don't have my phone to get a hold of her. So I'm wondering what happened, if I need to start calling hospitals or what the deal was.
I mean, I say poor guy loosely, but they dropped him off like blocks apparently away from his home and told him that he had to walk home. So, and yeah, that had to suck. Sorry for your luck.
But luckily, I guess she went to one of the neighbors, but I didn't find that out until the next day.
Right. You were detained and released, but you've said it, your face, your name, it's everywhere online. People still believe you were either involved or did this. What's that been like for you to have your name, your picture, even a past mugshot all over the internet associated with this case?
I mean, for me, it's terrible. It's hard to go anywhere, and the hard part is they're making all these assumptions based on things that have absolutely no relevance, and they're just bringing up my past, which I mean, I do have a past, but nothing violent or anything like that. All my past has just been involved with using drugs, and I haven't been in that life for over 2 years now. So all the things that they're bringing up, I guess it's public record, but it would have came out if it wasn't for all these people speculating and doing things like that. So now people that had no idea about my past, so I've done like a good job of working past it and not having anything to do with it. So them doing that now is kind of just reopening this whole speculation and make me out to look like this bad person, which I'm not.
And it's not just been you. People have found, records of an alleged girlfriend of yours. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around. What do you want to say about those rumors, about you, about her, about, everybody that people have looked at and said, well, they could do this?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's a lie. About 2 years. No. He was just busted a few months prior with drugs and guns, and Kayla, her husband, is associated with, or at least, let me correct that, at least at one time he was associated with a gang, and there's a police or court records that says that he used to transport people from Mexico to the United States, and in one of those runs he ran into an 80-something-year-old lady, hit her car and killed her. That was his most recent, I think, jail or prison, whatever it was that he was in. So the three of them, the combination has been not good. Not saying that they're involved again, just saying a happenstance of circumstances here, or coincidences. Sorry.
First of all, that's not my girlfriend. I barely knew that girl, and I was arrested with her on a completely different circumstance over a year ago.
Nope.
I haven't talked to her since, and I guess they're just going off of the arrest, saying that I was arrested with her. So, but I hardly know her and don't associate with her. But in terms of everything else, I mean, all the speculation is just going off of, I don't even know if people really believe it, but online it just seems like they're pushing this narrative and trying to make connections with things that are, I don't know, basically like circumstantial, like saying my eyelashes match the guy in the ski mask picture, which I'm sure like if you could use anyone's picture and find similarities.
And you don't recognize the person on that in that footage?
No, I don't. But
not just suspicious as with all the ums, but he's always looking to the left. Hardly does any eye contact with her. He's always looking down or to the left. And usually, I mean, with most body language people, they always say people who look to the left is, when you look to the left, you're trying to make up a story, and when you're looking to the right, you're usually trying to recall memory. So there's that. In
terms of all this, like I said, they're comparing my face to this. They're talking about my Range Rover, which I didn't even buy until after she was reported missing.
It was a new car, yeah? For you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
They're talking about another car that was towed off my property. That car wasn't an accident, has nothing to do with this. It wasn't towed in relation to this case. It was being towed by the insurance company to assume if it was totaled or not. So that had nothing to do with the case.
I'm not sure about Carlos.
There's no evidence to point towards me other than speculation.
You really have no idea what led them to you in this case?
Absolutely not.
Still a mystery to you?
Yes, and I would love to find out.
Were you dealing mostly with sheriff's deputies or FBI agents when you were detained?
When I was detained by the sheriffs, but in terms of all the questioning was done by the FBI.
What would you like to say to both PCSD and the FBI?
That is true, DJ.
Basically what I told him before, if there's anything, I'm happy to help. If there actually was something real that I could help them with, but like I said, they have my phone. They went through my phone. So,
I mean, you can tell his mouth is dry. He is sweating up a storm. He's got his body covered from neck to his wrists. Everything's very well covered up. He shaved his face. His looking to the left all the time. Misinformation that he's given. If I were his attorney, I would have never told him to do this interview, especially without him there. It doesn't look good. I mean, he could, if he is innocent, 100% innocent, then, I mean, I could see maybe he's not used, or he's nervous, super nervous about being on the news and it going across vast different other platforms, you know, him being nervous about that. There's just too many weird things, you know? He definitely has a whole arm tattoo on his right arm. Yeah, see, I know. And then they said that there was some guy going around trying to find a tattooist who could remove all of their tattoos, or someone, a doctor or whatever, to remove all their tattoos. So, I don't know. And the interview from the mother, too, was a little bit off to me as well. I mean, granted, most mothers are going to protect their child. I honestly can't say if I was in that situation. I mean, personally, at this moment, I would say, yeah, if my son did something like this, I'd turn his ass in. But when it comes down to it, you know, I don't know. Your instincts are to protect your children, but if my child did something to hurt, especially an elderly woman, I'd turn their ass in in a heartbeat. Because, yeah, they don't belong out on the streets. The poor mother has been through a lot and has tried. Yeah, I mean, she's tried. From what I can tell and know, you know, she tried her best with this guy, and he's just unhelpable. Yeah, I have the interview with Luke's mom. If you guys wanted to go over that one too. Maybe they're just waiting for more. See that? I mean, Cowgirl, you're right. I mean, just because they released him, they released his vehicle, does not mean that they are still looking for information. It doesn't mean that they're not looking for any additional information on anybody that they've released. You know, that be from Carlos, the family, to Luke, to anybody else that they might be watching. It doesn't mean that they're not still being watched. They're probably just trying to get the actual evidence that's going to stick, in which Nanos, in my opinion, has made this case super difficult by releasing the scene way too early and then closing it back up again and then releasing it again. I mean, that case has been a free-for-all for what? It's been for at least, how many days is it? It's 44 days now? For at least 40 days, that crime scene has been open, pretty much. There was an officer sitting back there for a little while, but it didn't stop people from still walking up there. You know, it just, yeah, if these folks are truly innocent, then God forgives. Exactly. I mean, I would be more than gladly to retract anything that I've ever said that might be presumed that I'm saying that he is it. Like I said before, I'm just saying that there's a lot of similarities in this interview. Was kind of sus about some of his demeanor, the way he worded a few things, like saying that he knew they must have been pulling him over because of Nancy Guthrie, instead of, that was his first thought, instead of, I mean, if I was him with his history, my first thought would have been, it's like, oh shit, they must think I have drugs on me again or something along those lines. Nancy would be the furthest thing from my mind. That would not be my first thought.
If it was anything real, they could look through that and hope clear my name. But in terms of the collateral damages, this being part of it, there's not really any type of way. There's no going back from this.
for your whole family too. I mean, your mom has had to go through this too. As a family, how has this
Right.
made you guys feel collectively together to kind of be in this public shock, this public scrutiny?
It all just seems like a nightmare. I mean, it doesn't seem real, and it's just been, we're all just it's been it's just been a nightmare. I know my mom, she has like problem with stress, and like she was doing good before this. After this, she's been a lot more stressed. It's been hard. I'll let her speak to how it's affected her, but I mean, in terms of collectively as a family, it's been a nightmare.
You know, what's your message for Nancy Guthrie's family?
I mean, I, like everyone else, I want to see her come home. I want the actual suspect to be found. I think it's really unfair to them to give them false hope by going off whatever they went off to have this huge investigation and raid happen. To me, it's like giving them false hope that they had a suspect, and then it was nothing. And I'm not the first person either, so I think it's wrong in that sense.
This is your first interview since you've been detained. What's your hope in putting your voice out there now that people will get from this interview?
I mean, for my personal interest, I would just say just not to go off speculation of everything you hear on the internet, and kind of like the hive mind mentality that someone says something and then they just go off of it based on no evidence and no truth. But I mean, in terms of like moving forward, I just want to be cleared, have actual verification that I was cleared by the FBI and sheriff, whoever else.
Have they officially cleared you?
I don't date. This is just going off what I've heard, but I guess I've been cleared, but they don't close any case, I guess, because it's still ongoing. But
See, he even said that he's been cleared, but not kind of exactly. Not once he ever looked right. Yeah. It. I don't. If he is not involved, then he's got a body double that looks a lot like him, as in shape, shape of the head, shape of the face, the eyes, the mouth. When he had a beard, which I find still sus that he shaved it. I would like to put enough faith into the law enforcement that they did look at his arms to see if there was remotely a tattoo on his right arm of any shape or form. You know, I can only hope that, and I can only hope that the FBI and the police have way better video equipment than I do, and was able to clean up that video footage, and to see that there was something sitting in that driveway. And I hope to God that they also look to see if she has all of her garbage cans there. Because to me, that trail in those drag marks look to me like about the width of a garbage can being pulled over to where that vehicle was sitting. That's what it looks like to me. And someone said something about that I see that her garbage can was knocked over. I don't know where you're saying that the garbage can was when it was tipped over. So, I mean, I unfortunately have not seen that part. Not saying that it's not out there, but I haven't seen it. I could have missed it. God only knows. Does he have a Facebook? Yeah, he has a Facebook. Most of it is locked down now, but there are a few pictures. That's where I got the picture to compare with the mask, was from his Facebook. But most of his Facebook has been completely locked down. Pretty much, and Kayla's is not. There's not much on it that you can see. I mean, there are some things, but it's just a lot of it's been um, you know, taken back and locked down. You can see the tattoos in the Pima County Court. You can also see how he walks. From the back in particular. Right. Yeah, I haven't seen the court, the Pima County Court with him. I tried finding it, but like I said, I've had so many things going on in my real life that I haven't had a whole lot of time recently to go back and try to find these things. I tried finding that earlier tonight and I couldn't get anything specific to pop up, so I let it go for the moment. Okay, I was thinking, see what his pictures. Yeah, his pictures are, it's just, there's one of him sitting in a baseball game or a football game or some type of game. And a couple other ones, that's all you get to see. You don't really get to see any. Yeah, she's got, Kayla's got several different platforms that she has, and she's a different character. I will give you that. Kind of along the lines, remember Kiki, the people that were dressed up as emo that went out to Nancy Guthrie's house and took photos? Kind of along those lines. Yeah, they're a little, they're different. Did you want me to show his mother's interview? I can. I mean, I have it. One of these. Yeah, Kiki. She's yeah, she's a little bit, I'd say definitely, I agree with you, the great one, a little bit more, not a little, I'd say a lot more hardcore than Kiki, but but to give people a visual, very, very much, very similar. Okay, well, where'd the mother one go? Sorry, like I said, no, there it is. I've got so many damn screens open. Okay, here's the mother's interview. Yeah, she's a mad duck.
You were Nancy Guthrie's neighbor, pretty close by.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So did you not know
I
Nancy?
knew it after everything happened. But otherwise, who'd heard of her?
You hadn't met her?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you hear that she is abducted. She goes missing. And I assume your first thought when you hear this is, oh my gosh, somebody, I mean, this is crazy and it's nearby. Were you following the story, following the case?
Totally. At that point, to see if they could ever find her, And, Savannah grew up in Arizona and, her family, and we watch her on TV. So it's sort of like, she comes into our living room and tells us what's going on. So it's, it's very emotional for me. I mean, I'm old and I'm not used to this kind of stuff at all, but I have a lot of empathy and pray. I don't have a lot of hope but that the family continues on and it's,
I mean, you can see with her, she has a lot of eye contact with the interviewer. What does Luke do for a living? I am not 100% sure, to be honest. I've heard a couple things that he was hired from when he was in like one of those rehab like places or those drug counseling like places, that he was hired with a was it a solar company or electric company or something like that to try to get clients or some sort. I'm not sure about that because I haven't been able to find anything 100%. Where someone was saying that he was intentional. I've heard a lot of different things, so I'm not quite sure, and I haven't been able to find anything 100% because I keep getting different different things sent to me about different jobs. So I don't know.
Huge loss for all of us, actually.
Oh, it completely affects the community, a community you're part of. So when you first start hearing about it, I imagine there's a lot of upset and fear, concern.
Yes, yes. And they were searching, I live on this street, and then they were searching a street a little closer and a little farther out, excuse me. And, it's just weird to have these people and people standing in front of my house wanting to.
Yeah, he got that Range Rover. I think either his mom might have helped pay for it, but you got to remember that his his car was in an accident, but so that's a whole nother thing. I thought originally that I heard that he got that Range Rover before Nancy Guthrie went missing, and then I heard it was after his Nancy went missing. So if anybody knows, please correct me on that. Luke's attorney said Luke's mom did meet Nancy, and she said that she didn't at a grocery store or something. Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah, his friend owned a dealership, or an associate owned that dealership. Apparently, that guy has not been in the United States for a while. He's been out of country, he says. I haven't heard too much else on that, but I guess the vehicle was pretty much paid for with cash. So, I mean, I thought maybe because of his car accident, he got the money from the car accident and paid for the Wrangler, or his mother might have helped out pay for the Wrangler. It's just really weird. No, I haven't really heard too much on that, to be honest.
Talk, mostly news people wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, the media don't.
I didn't talk to those people at all. We just.
So tell me what happened when this all ends up at your home. Your home ends up becoming part of this story.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
people were coming to the door, and I wasn't necessarily answering it. They might.
That car was his. It was being taken away by the insurance company, I guess, to be estimated, which is kind of odd that they're doing it like that, because I've never seen an insurance company, but I mean, granted, a lot of the insurance companies now changed how they handle a lot of things differently, but back when I used to work for a claims office, it was not handled that way. I mean, it was, I don't know, it was handled a little bit differently. It just seems kind of odd that the car was taken away. But I mean, I know that a lot of policies have been changed since back when I used to work there. But I mean, they could have it transported to a body shop, and the estimator could have gone to the body shop to estimate the vehicle to see if it was repairable or a total loss or whatever. But that's up for debate.
Not have even had a camera or anything. And then this one, late afternoon when they came in the big SWAT vehicles, pulled into my driveway and said they wanted to see anything that could link anything. I said, well, yeah, go ahead. I mean, so they were there for about 6 hours, and I was in the SWAT vehicle, and they went through my house and went through everything and tore everything, broke if the door was locked, they would break it open to go see what was in there. There really wasn't anything in there, but it was pretty upsetting.
Well, and it's one thing to come to you and say, do you have any video or anything like that? It's another to detain you and search your house with a search warrant. Did they tell you why?
I guess I assumed, because I lived close by or something, but I just said I'd do anything if we could find some clues that might help, but I don't think there's going to be anything in here, but go ahead and look. I mean, I didn't say you can't look. I didn't even think. It was kind of, late in the day. I'm so sorry. I'll turn that off. I get a lot of phone calls now, a lot of messages from people. How are you doing, Mary? So, yeah, and then I just decided I was much better off going to Phoenix to be with Matt and the grandkids and his wife and everything.
So when they detained you, did you know?
See, I thought originally that when during this was going on, that she went to the next door neighbors and was at the neighbors until I guess they released the scene, and then sh- then I guess she could have went to her say her son's house. I don't know, but just
that this was related to also them investigating Luke?
No,
You had no idea.
no, I wasn't thinking this was about Luke. You know, I found out it was also about Luke, but initially, no, I was thinking it was all about Nancy Guthrie. And
see, that's another. They both instantly assume that their house is being raided because of Nancy Guthrie. I would think that with Luke's past, his criminal past, that her first thought would be like, "Oh, great, what did Luke do now? What drugs or what do I have in my house that's going to be along those lines of what his regular criminal history is?" You know what I mean? But they're saying that they both thought the first thought was that it had something to do with Nancy Guthrie. That just those statements there, I just find really odd. I mean, if that was my child, if my child had a history like that and they came to raid my house, my first thought wouldn't be that somebody was missing. My first thoughts would be it would be something along the line of my child's criminal history. I don't know. That's just the way I think somebody would think.
finding her and whatnot. So, because I was thinking, I don't even think Luke probably ever watched the news and even saw Savannah on the news. I mean, I did.
Right. So when did you learn that, your detainment was related to Luke's detainment in this case?
When I'm not exactly sure when, because honestly, during this time, I was really emotional, and there were
Luke's last name is Daly, Daoey.
lots of information coming in, and so I don't remember exactly the time, but I know that
And her name is Mary Chapman. Mary Chapman Daly.
retrospect, I know all this stuff that it did, but initially I didn't think of it being Luke as part of this because I knew it wasn't something that Luke would be involved in any way, and he wasn't. So, yeah.
And when you learned that, was there any thought could he have been involved?
No, I didn't think he ever could have been involved. Not at all. No.
So you and Luke were not involved in anything in this case.
Right, except seeing it on TV and acting and some of the consequences of, we want to search this. And I'm like, okay, if it helps find, because this was early on, and we thought differently about.
Did they take anything specific from your home?
Did they take anything? I can't think of anything they took.
That I kind of seemed kind of odd because I thought they said that they did take their phones, all of their phones, all of their electrical equipment, like computers, tablets, or anything like that. I mean, granted, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She might not or doesn't remember. I mean, it was a traumatic event. I can give her that, but the reports was that they took all their electronics and they didn't say anything else that they took. I mean, they only let the news know that they took their electronics.
I can't think of anything.
And did they
I
eventually?
might think of something later.
That's
I hate
fine.
to say it, but
Yeah.
Did
they eventually tell you that they were searching your home in relation to this case, or did you this whole time think they're just looking to see if I have any surveillance video or anything like that? Like, where did that shift happen?
They did give me a lot of information, but I just assumed you know, and I said, well, if it's like I said, if it's something that might help us find her, then go for it if you think there's anything in here, but I don't think there is. So, yeah.
Did you ever suspect that Luke might know who was involved?
No,
Not at all.
no.
So you guys were basically both detained for hours. You were questioned. Your property gone.
See, what I don't understand is they never mentioned because the police said that they detained the mother and the son at the house and detained the other one at Culver's. So they never talk about the other one that was detained at the house. I don't even think they ever mentioned his name.
Gone through and then released, but with not a lot of explanation as to why.
Well, I guess they just said they could do, you know, I didn't want to stop if it might be helpful, but I
Right.
had no idea when.
Right, the great one.
I thought they'd maybe come in and look around for an hour or something, poke around and, you know, but. Yeah.
So you have not been back at your home since staying there since this.
I just got back.
What's that like?
I mean, I honestly do believe that she was not a suspect at all and that she probably does not know or have any idea of if Luke could be involved in it. I don't doubt that she doesn't know anything about it, to be honest.
It's really good to be back here. I was up in Phoenix with my kids and grandkids, which is wonderful. But, you know, we built our home and lived there a long time. And Matt's grown up in it. Luke's grown up in it. They're, you know.
Okay, I take it back. She does say Matt. I'm sorry. I retract that. She does say Matt. And I don't know why that one news article said that Luke sometimes referred to in certain circumstances as Matt. So I don't know where they got that information from. That's weird.
So it's, you know, it's home. So I love being there. I'm glad to be back, and it's nice to know that Luke's there and, you know, with me.
I mean, in the days since you guys were detained, it's not been an easy road for any of you, Luke especially. I mean, people still believe he is the person on the video camera. They still believe he's the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie. His face is out there. His name, your name, has been out there. How, as a family, have you emotionally dealt with that, even though you've been released?
Well, you know, things will just pop up and I'll just feel a lot more like even sitting here talking about it. It is very emotional. And part of me just wants to say goodbye to all this chapter. So hopefully this interview will help kind of have some closure for me and for everybody else who's felt the impact, because this has been a huge impact, not just here. I mean, all the family from Rhode Island called right away and said, wow, look what's happening. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't really do Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I'm not the right demographic. I don't spend my time doing that. But
see, my whole thing is I don't think the police or the FBI would have had so many. Personally, okay. Personally, I think Carlos was like a show. I think they were only able to tie him to possibility because of his being a DoorDash or whatever one of those food delivery companies are. It happened to be around the area at certain times. Luke, I mean, with Carlos, I mean, they knocked his door down and all kind. I mean, they made a huge show of the whole thing. With Luke, I think there was more than just circumstances, you know, just willy-nilly, oh, we think you're it. There's something more there that they're not letting everybody know. Because it was just kind of suspicious that Caleb gets arrested on the 12th. And then this happens on the 13th, you know, late. I think it was like around 10, 11 o'clock at night on the 13th. It just kind of sus. I don't know. You know, another quinky dink, you know. but yeah, Carlos. I mean, Carlos lived quite a distance away, but you got to think Rio Rico's not a very big city, and it's only like a 45-minute drive, if that, to like the begin. I mean, actually, it's even less than that. It's like a 45-minute drive from Nancy's house. Um, Anywhere else in Tucson, you could probably subtract like 15, 20 minutes. It's not very far at all. I mean, I could definitely see somebody commuting from Rio Rico to Tucson to do deliveries because it's a bigger city, a lot more people. The university is right there. I mean, I can see that why he'd be in that area or working both areas. I know a lot of people that work several different cities at the same time, or towns and cities. You know what I mean? So I mean, I can believe that situation. I think Luke's is a little bit deeper as to why they did what they did with him. I don't know. To this point, because in which I understand that they haven't given out a lot of information. I mean, this case is already in jeopardy as it is because of the scene being opened up way too early. Way too many possibilities of contamination and all that shit. So they're probably really watching, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and making sure they have everything before they make a move. Anyone know what Luke's felony is? His felonies are all drug related. He and Kayla got arrested on in December of last year, December 2025, in a Walmart parking lot with guns, drugs, and cash. And their cell phones had evidence of trying to make sales. So there was quite a few charges. That was his most recent one. That's why, in my mind, him saying that his first thought in his head was that he's being pulled over because of Nancy Guthrie was just kind of really weird. I mean, my first thought would be they're pulling me over again because of the last drug thing that I was involved in. I get the... Oops, let me go back to StreamYard. I get the distinct feeling that Mary is quite traumatized. Yeah, oh yeah. And I think she's tried to support him a lot, and he's just gotten the wrong crowd probably when he was young. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to try to analyze any of that because I'm not qualified. But no, there was nothing violent that I know of, but he was caught with guns in his car, along with trying to do drug sales. I'll try to look up those charges again, the whole thing. I had them on my phone, but I accidentally went through and deleted. I mean, my phone's been full of photos, screenshots, and stuff. I went and dumped a bunch of them, and I think I might have accidentally deleted it because I can't find it right now. So again, what probable cause did police present to a judge? Exactly, they had to present something to the judge to be able to give them the ability to bring in the SWAT, to bring in all those police officers and search his home. There had to be something that gave them a probable cause. So whatever that is, obviously they are not going to tell the public. That's something that they're going to probably want to keep, close to the vest and not actually give out. That's what sucks. And everyone's left to speculate or do things like this, discuss certain situations, how it could have gone or how it didn't go, it's called discussions. I'm not saying anything that I'm saying on here is fact. What we are having is a simple discussion as to what has happened in these certain circumstances. Pretty much anything, even the police do. They have discussions. They hash out scenarios and stuff like that. Yeah, guns are typically used for violence, especially when drugs are involved. Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you, one of my first thoughts this could have been was because everyone has been speculating that Kayla is related to the Guthries by marriage. So, either her mother or somewhere along those lines. Maybe she knew Nancy had money. They just got pulled over, had all their drugs taken from them back in December of 2025. They owe lots of money. They also have court fees and everything else coming up. Lots of money. Did I say Annie? Or, I'm sorry, Nancy. And maybe they thought it would be, quick and easy. I don't know. No, Luke and Kayla were never dating. Kayla has been engaged or wasn't. They're either married now, but was engaged for quite a while to a gentleman by the name of Huber. William Huber or something Huber. So they Luke and Kayla, from what I have been able to research through their Facebooks, through all types of posts and stuff, that they were never dating. They obviously knew each other, because I don't know. I don't sell drugs, but I mean, I wouldn't think you just let anybody hop in your car to go sell drugs. I don't know. Jailer tried to get information from courts once, but didn't get anything because, you won't get anything until any of the warrants on Carlos and Luke and stuff, until the case is either closed or they are 100%, dropped as anything being involved in it. So it's false about them. Yeah, I mean, I think it was an assumption that they were dating. I think everyone just assumed. But when I looked at Kayla and the Huber guys' Facebooks, it has the two of them being engaged. That they've been engaged they were engaged before Luke and her got arrested. So, but I don't doubt that, Bone Crusher. I mean, look at the lifestyle. I don't know. But from what I was able to look up through the Facebook interactions between the three and stuff, that Kayla was engaged to that Huber guy before even they got arrested. I never saw anything that remotely put it that they were dating. I think it was just assumed. Luke said they didn't really. Yeah. He said of course he's going to say he didn't really know her, but I don't think it was just a casual meeting. Because I mean, if you're going to sell drugs, if you're selling drugs, would you let somebody that you don't know go ride shotgun with you with guns and money and drugs in the car? I mean, not if you're smart, I guess. I mean, you don't know who's getting in the freaking car with you. I don't know. That just seems kind of weird to me. Okay, yeah, it was William. But, that just... So, to me, I think they knew each other longer. Maybe not on a major personal level, but in some sort of aspect, they had... I mean, I have never sold drugs, never been around that, but I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I would not let somebody hop in my car that I didn't know who the hell they were and go sell drugs someplace. Hell no. So his fiance was arrested with another man. Yeah, I mean, that is the world we live in today. But, every character in this case is just, they're all wackadoodles. I mean, there's so many sketchy, weird stuff in their pasts, even present, that they're involved in. It just makes you feel dirty, what some of these people are involved in. Okay. What I still want to know is why was Nancy taken? Why did they take her from her home? Was any of the ransoms that were ever put out there, was any of them actually a true ransom from the people who took her? That's like my first question. My second question is like, okay, if they did take her, they did do the ransom, and something happened to Nancy when they took her, and the whole plan fell apart. Did they try to still do the ransom and try to get the money, even though she's passed away? We don't, and we probably will never know, because they're going to keep that information very close at hand. They're not going to give that information out, which I understand. You're right. Who takes a elderly woman? And who's Derek? And that's a whole nother rabbit hole that if somebody wants to jump down, I've tried jumping down it, and it's an odd one. Apparently that Derek guy is also into the same type of music that Tommaso's band is in. Also, which ties into somehow, I guess someone was saying that Kayla and that, what do you call that type? What are they, like a fetish concerts or whatever the hell they are? They're weird, very weird. But somehow, I guess that Derek dude, something to do with, all connected through this music shit. How true any of it is, I honestly cannot tell you. I mean, that type of circle, especially around here, I mean, I can see where a lot of those type of players would run into each other a lot, and maybe nothing really involvement in any of this, just that they cross paths many times, because those fetish balls are not like all the time, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I've never been to one. And I guess there's one that's going to be happening, I guess, next weekend or this weekend in Phoenix somewhere. But, I mean, it could be just that a lot of these people have crossed paths before. But how that guy actually got his phone number, he said, I mean, I know anybody has probably looked up on, what do you call it, been verified, or any of those type of background, internet background things that you can have done on people. A lot of times you will get a list of phone numbers, past and current ones. They're not always accurate, I can tell you that. But a lot of times you can find phone numbers, addresses, employment, freaking past addresses, relations, and all kinds of stuff from those things. So I'm thinking that maybe Derek just did a background, one of those been verified type things, got his phone number and was lucky. I don't know. It seems kind of ironic, because I mean, a lot of times, I'll tell you one thing. I know when I just did a search on my own person, and over half the stuff they had on there was not right, especially the phone numbers. But there is, I mean, they had one or two of my old numbers correct, but they're not really all that accurate in my opinion. That would be somebody who everybody in the people that I usually do lives on, like Ernie Shell, that's be something that he always used and said that they were as fact, but we all know that they're not. But I'm salty. Oh, damn it. Salty, I'm too old. Don't ask. It's freaky shit we ain't ready for. Right. Derek Clay got arrested for sending text. Yeah, he got arrested for sending that. Wasn't he the one who sent that? He's the guy from California who did one of the ransom notes, wasn't he? I'm not sure. Was he the guy who also texted Tommaso? Yeah, this Salty, this case really gets weirder. There were so many. I hate going down rabbit holes because there's so many different types of rabbit holes that you could fall down in this case that are just the weirdest shit you'll ever see. And yeah, we don't know who sent the notes to TMZ. They apparently have not found those ones out. So obviously, whoever sent those was a little bit smarter than the guy the guy in California who got caught. We don't know what any of them said. They have not put out any information as to what was written in the text messages, the ransom notes, anything. They have not said anything. They won't actually give any of that information out. Oh yeah, just Salty, you're gonna go to that scene is weird. Oof. That's why DC. Who's DC? Why can't I think of who the initials DC is? Oh, Derek. I'm sorry. See, I'm getting tired. Obviously, I've been looking at too much shit. People put out initials, and I start forgetting who the hell they're talking about. Yeah, you'll go down a very interesting path, and it's not a fun one. Trust me. But like I said, there's so many things that people speculate on, and which I really, that's why I haven't gone down any of those rabbit holes, because that's just pure speculation. I mean, I'm not saying that any of those rabbit holes are fact, because they are pretty weird. But I can see why some people might think it's connected, but I'm not putting too much on those at this moment. I mean, you really can't, because all we know is the porch guy. We know his what he looks like, with the mask on. We know what he looks like, his demeanor, the way he walks, the shape of his face, his eyes, his mouth. That is the only information that we can go off of. Everything else is absolutely 100 pure speculation. And I mean, shoot, you can pretty much make a rabbit hole of just about damn near anything if you wanted to, if you looked and tried hard enough. That's why I don't put a whole lot of faith in those until some sort of information comes out that kind of more, you know what I mean, directs you that way. But, and also remember when the U.S. attorneys went to Nancy's house and they were investigating that patio area. Now, could it mean that since the U.S. attorneys were at the house, did their investigation and stuff, looked around, could it mean that they might be getting ready to go to the grand jury to indict somebody? Could be. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, that's a very good possibility that they could be doing something like that. And we don't know. The FBI could and may have been in contact with the kidnappers. We only know that information, which I think it was still kind of really odd that TMZ even put that information out there publicly. That was just kind of weird to me that he would do that. But we don't know if the family's been in contact. I mean, it definitely seems like a couple of Savannah's videos that she was actually talking to somebody. The FBI could be in contact with them or were in contact with them. I don't know if they still are. Who knows? I mean, they could have dropped all contact now, because I'm sure they figured out now that if they try to take any money, their asses are going to get caught. But with the U.S. attorneys going through the walkthrough of the house, maybe they're preparing to go to the grand jury. Could be. I hope so, because that means we're one giant step closer to getting at least the people who did this, behind bars and what they deserve. But yeah, I know Brian Ensign went home. Pretty much everybody's gone now. I think there's Tucson that's still here because he lives here, and Alex that's here because he lives here, and there's me. I personally have ran out of places to even think about where to go to search. The only places I have not personally searched is the washes that are inside of Nancy's neighborhood. Because because that's going to be tricky to do because they're. I almost feel like I would have to get permission to go through there because it's. I have a map that shows me where the property lines are, but a lot of the neighbors probably don't exactly know that, and there's a lot of those places don't have backyard fences. It's just like open. So I don't know. Something. The only hope to keep the story going is BGE marketing. Yeah, Mark I think is going to be leaving soon. I'm not sure. I thought he said that he might be leaving soon. Yeah, Brian said that he'll be coming back. He just went back home. I mean, shoot, you got to think they've been out here for 44 days, away from their homes, away from their loved ones. I'm sure like JLR, Brian, and all those other people who have been staying here would like to go home and visit with their family a little bit. I know I would. Oh yeah, Jacob's coming back. I didn't know that. I didn't even. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did leave a few days ago. I think someone's wanting to hide something. Outlaw at night in the outlaw at night in the private property is just a thought. Smoke it. Yeah, I know. But, I mean, I do not know if the law enforcement or the quote searches that Nanos called off early, if they went. I'm like hoping to God they went through those washes. I don't know. And you can't get any answers from anybody, and that's what is most frustrating for me. I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. What's the next move? I don't. Good question. I didn't know. At day 3, I said this won't last much longer. Yeah, I know, right? Like I said, I don't know. I found it really kind of odd that Nano said that they called up the search, they called off the planes, the helicopters, and all that stuff. Excuse me. The planes and stuff. I mean, this was hours after she she disappeared. Hey, Kim Louise, how you doing, sweetie? I hope you're doing good. This was hours after she disappeared. I mean, that was on the 2nd, so she disappeared somewhere in the night between the 31st and the 1st, if we could believe exactly the timelines that they've given us. And she wasn't actually discovered missing until almost noon the next day. So there's a lot of travel time that could have happened. So I can't see why they'd had the plane. I mean, I could see the helicopter, because they'd be able to get close to the ground and be able to search in certain areas for possible disturbances in the ground and stuff like that, But as looking for anybody leaving her house, they weren't going to find anything. But why didn't they have a lot of ground searches? I don't get that. I still don't get that. The only thing I have seen is a lot of door-to-door searches from the FBI and law enforcement. What's the real feeling about Nanos and Pima? Well, I would say a lot of people have lost being able to believe or support in some of the stuff that he's doing. I don't, not good. I'll tell you that. I mean, this case, I think, has just been kind of weird. I guess apparently I was watching the interview room, and they were saying that Nanos's his resume, some of it, the information he put on his resume was incorrect, and that apparently when he was younger, first starting out, he had 37 days of administrative leave. Basically, he was put on leave for over a certain amount of a couple years on administrative leave for about 37 days total, which which according to them is not a good thing, because it's not like, oh yeah, here's some vacation. No, this is, you're being pulled out, sitting on the sidelines for a while. So I don't know what happened, what caused him to get those 37 days of administrative leave. Or it might not be administrative. That's the only thing. Sorry, that's the thing that's sticking in my head. But 37 days of leave and just a matter of a certain years. I mean, that's disciplinary type like leave. So I don't know. And to actually still have a job to come back to, they said, was kind of odd. Yeah, 36. Yeah, I mean, that's a severe punishment. I mean, that's disciplinary leave, not as, here's an extra couple days of vacation type shit. But watch Chris Dunna's interview room. They go over that, and it's pretty eye-opening, pretty interesting. Well, it'll sure be interesting, exciting adventure, whatever you choose to do, but make sure you bring your fan with you, of course. There you go. You be my camera guy. But yeah, I mean, I will continue to go out and look. I mean, I'm not giving up. It's just right now, my partners who have been going out with me on searches are now gone for like 2 weeks or so. They are out of town, and I'm not comfortable going into a lot of these places by myself. And nothing against the other streamers, but because the case is getting kind of cold, several, people are not as willing as they were at the beginning to group up and go do searches. I kind of find, or have been noticing, I mean, it's not as together like it was before, in my opinion. Yeah, no, I won't go out there alone again. I did that on the Swan Bridge, and I think that's the last time I'll do that by myself. But I was lucky that day that there was absolutely no homeless out there, so that day was okay. I mean, I like all the other streamers. I have no problem with any of the other streamers. I support them, and I stick up for them, because there's a certain creator out here she's not much of a creator, but she's going around trying to spread all kinds of bullshit about each and every one of us. So yeah, rattlesnakes are bad, and unfortunately the weather is getting warmer, which means they are going to be more active. That day that I went out was kind of cool, on the cool side, so I wasn't too worried about them that day. Yeah, the drones and stuff, I don't understand. There's a lot of things that have not been done, as in trying to find her, this, as an attempt to go find her. It seems like everyone's been discouraged to go do searches, getting nothing but flack from the law enforcement, or, discouraged from doing it. And I don't understand why, because anybody else that's been missing, they'll have like searches for days, sometimes weeks. So I don't understand, what do they know that we don't know as to why they don't want searches being done, Kim, yeah. I mean, I like all those searches, and I'm sure each and every one of us probably gets on somebody's nerves sometime here or there, I mean, shit, just look at JLR's chat. They are vicious. Oh my God. Yeah, I've spoken to them. I haven't spoken to them in a couple. I think I sent a message to them like on Friday or whatever. And eventually we're all going to try to get together to do a search once we can try to pin down a point, It's just, we're just basically running out of places to go look, Because I honestly don't think they would have taken her very far. If something happened that night, they're going to want to get rid, and I'm sorry again for the lack of better words and no disrespect, but they're going to want to get rid of her body, because the more they take her with them, the more chances of them getting caught, So to me, it just seems like they are going to want to either, if she was not alive at the moment anymore, either bury her somewhere pretty close, and which we have searched extensively in a lot of those areas. Because the more you're going to travel with somebody, the better chance you're going to get some, a police officer happens to be out. They see you either doing something a little fishy, not acting right when you're driving, getting a chance of getting pulled over. There's just so much that could happen. So to me, it just seems like they're going to want to bury her quickly. I still love to keep the hope that she is alive, but the more as time goes on, the less likely that is. No, I've never ran across a rattlesnake at actually any time. I've seen a lot of king snakes. There's a ton of king snakes around here. But I have not run across a rattlesnake at all. I've come across bobcat. I came across a bobcat on one of my searches, but those things are so skittish. I've come across a single coyote, not a pack of coyotes, but just one, javelina, and a king snake. I'll tell you one thing, that king snake scared the crap out of me because I didn't know exactly what it was. I just heard it move in the bush. Scared the pee right out of me. I think Nanos would arrest you if he thought you would take... See, that's a whole nother thing. There's an ego, in my opinion. There's something egotistical going on around there. I don't get it. My only hopes is that they know something more than we do, and we're all ignorant because we don't know exactly what they know. You know what I mean? This case is just so weird. I've never experienced or seen as many missteps as I have seen in this one, and so much lack of good information. I mean, a lot of information that we were given was then eventually either retracted and then put back out again. So it's like, it's hard to believe what is actually being said. It's just, I don't know. And another thing I want to know, okay, how does the glove from the restaurant guy get all the way out? Because they haven't said exactly which restaurant it is from that the person worked at, apparently. And there are a couple of restaurants, really nice restaurants, just up the road off of Campbell from Nancy's house. They didn't say if he came from any of those restaurants, but how does that glove end up on the side of the road not far from Nancy's house? Why is it there? It just, the timing of it just seems kind of odd. I don't understand. And they have not really stated anything more than that the DNA didn't match. And okay. And then now they're back looking at the El Charro restaurant. Yeah, the El Charro restaurant. Yeah, I guess the FBI has been going back there again, looking to see, I mean, was there someone acting differently while they were there filming? Someone paying too much attention or trying to get attention from them? You know, I don't know. Yeah, that's a really nice restaurant too. I mean, that's like it's a very nice, one of those nicer, expensive restaurants. Oops. But how did they get the server code? That is another good question. How did they get the server's DNA if the maybe the server's DNA had a past and maybe he was in CODIS? I don't know. But that was another thing that kind of seemed odd to me because they found him pretty quickly. And then said he wasn't involved, that he was off the list. But what I want to know is, why was his glove down there? Why was his glove not far from her home on, I want to say it was Campbell Road that it was found off. It was either Campbell or First. But I mean, how did it get there? And how'd they find him so quickly? You know? But my question will be, how did they get his DNA if it wasn't? Well, that's what I was just saying. I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe the restaurant worker had to have been in CODIS for some way or another. I mean, just because they've been arrested before doesn't mean that that person is, a killer or whatever. I mean, that someone could have been arrested and turned their life around. You never know, but their information is still going to be in CODIS. He'd be a good camera guy. Sure. But, oops, JLR went to the restaurant, spoke to the head chef, and said, no, the FBI came there. No FBI came there? Huh? Then why are they stating that why are the news outlets stating that the FBI went back to that restaurant to speak to them? That's kind of odd. I mean, there are two El Charros. There's an El Charro Cafe and an El Charro. Both of them are both extremely very nice restaurants. El Charro Cafe is closer to Nancy's. I'm not exactly sure what El Charro is. They're probably about basically the same distance probably away. They identified the server quick, but say it'll take months. Yeah, well, yeah, with the mixed DNA. Well, see, that's another thing that makes you go back to Luke. I mean, if his DNA is not matching on anything, because you would think he would be in CODIS because he's been in prison before. So, there goes that. There's so many things that could have been, should have been, but aren't, Yeah, the mainstream media does tell a lot of white lies. And people sit there and yell at YouTubers who were sitting outside there. A lot of them were sitting outside there. They're actually getting up to the minute of what's actually happening there. Like JLR, I don't think anybody would have gotten the gym guy next door if he wasn't sitting out there. There's a lot of things that has happened that nobody else would have information about if someone wasn't sitting out there, not, quote, stalking the family or, quote, stalking the house, watching the house because so much keeps happening at that house. You know what I mean? I mean, I agree, don't be out in front of Annie and Tomas's house. I mean, there's no reason to be out there, especially if they're home now. I mean, there's no reason. Luke is an informant for the FBI in my position. Yeah. See, I don't know if he is in CODIS or if he isn't. You would think he would be. So I don't know one way or the other. I could not say 100%. Oops, 100% one way or the other. Whoops, dang it. The more this goes on, the more I feel it. I know, and that's another thing. It's like, God, what if she's sitting somewhere in Hawaii sipping Mai Tais, But, and then there's another rabbit hole people are trying to jump down, saying that because Savannah interviewed the couple Epstein survivors, and that it's all because of that, and her husband was a Clinton scrubber. He'd scrub things off the internet that was not good about the Clintons and stuff. That would be such a huge involvement of a lot of different things. I don't think it's that deep, to be honest. But could be wrong. Yeah, it's turning into a Lifetime movie. The whole thing is just, but I just can't understand why. I mean, there's $1,200,000 freaking reward, and not one person's talking. To me, that there's definitely says that if it's more than one person is involved, a lot of people who have been in prison, there's a code of conduct that basically you don't rat no matter what. Yeah, you just don't rat. but you would think that one of the family members has to recognize a series of patterns of that night or up to that night with people that are involved, spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, family members, friends, would notice something. I mean, I'm sorry, for 1.2 million, yeah, I'd be turning into my neighbor, my friend, or whatever, because personally, I don't want to be associated with that type of person anymore. If they did that, I'd be like, screw you, all ties are done, bye bye. You know, it's just, I don't know, but nobody's talking, and it's, I guess what, we're going on 45 days now. But you also got to think, what, Brian Kohlberger didn't get caught until 47 days later. They finally arrested him. So there could be a lot of things that are going on in the background with the FBI, with the law enforcement, that we will not know because it could jeopardize the case. Frustrating as it all is because of the way this case has been handled at the beginning, it's maddening. Because I think them closing, releasing the property too early, stopping the searches too early, and then reclosing the property and then reopening it again shortly after was a huge mistake. I don't understand why. You turn your own mother in for 1.2 million, skunk? Yeah, you probably would. But, shit, I mean, I don't know. But I will continue doing what I can when I can on this case. With Kohlberger, they knew he was a guy. The car was distinct. Yeah. But it wasn't until they got that familiar DNA were they able to actually get him. I mean, we don't know. There could be stuff like that going on in the background. They could be watching several people and they're just waiting to get the concrete proof because the way the case was handled at the beginning and so botched that they're going to need absolute 100% concrete evidence pointing to these people, Because, I mean, the way this is a defense freaking playground right now, there's so many things that they could make this case go away by the way it was handled in the beginning, in my opinion. So, just I'd say I love you, Ma, but it's my time now. Jesus. Right? True, but DNA taking months or years is weird. Yeah, see, I don't understand why they're saying it's going to take so long to separate mixed DNA. With the way science is right now, and the way several different DNA professors and scientists have been saying that it should not take that long. The only reason why it would probably take that long is if they cannot find anybody in CODIS, and then they're going to have to try to do the familiar DNA, and yeah, that can take a long time. Like with Brian Kohlberger, I think they had him as a suspect, and then was able to find the a family member or whatever did one of those DNA thingies. I guess the father did or something. I mean, trying to find the family, I mean, that could be what they're doing right now, is trying to interview family members from that familiar DNA that they've done. Maybe they're trying to go down that route, and that can take a while. I mean, I could see that it could. I'm not a defense attorney, but I would try right? That's what I'm saying, is the way this is right now, it's not looking good for any prosecutor unless they get that absolute evidence that they are going to need to be able to nail this person to the wall. Because whoever did this is a piece of shit. I mean, an absolute piece of shit. Someone who would do this to an elderly woman and then discard and then just leave everybody wondering, the family wondering. I mean, making them suffer the way they did. It's shitty. I mean, they are a piece of shit. True. But I mean, you got to think of what they're saying about a lot of those DNA sites, that a lot of times they have to fight to be able to get that information from them. Because usually when you sign up for those sites that you give your DNA to see your family history or whatever, there's a disclosure saying that they won't sell your information or, for police investigate unless you mark otherwise. So, I mean, they're going to have to get warrants and fight those out with those companies a lot of the times. I mean, there's very few smaller DNA type sites that actually work with the police department, but those are because people specifically volunteered their DNA for that type of search, Your long lost brother found me in 2 months after not. Whoop, sorry, I didn't even read all of this, but. Oh, really? That's awesome. That is really awesome. That's cool. See, right there, then that, I mean, good Lord. I mean, I know sometimes I get a feeling that something's dragging their feet in this case, and it's just making it more difficult than it actually should be. I don't believe 21 wouldn't roll over on you. I mean, right? I don't trust a lot of those companies who say that we won't share. But I don't know. But anyways, guys, I mean, that's some of the shit that I've been looking down, tracing, and trying to look. I mean, that guy on the porch, he had a bite light. You can see it shine several times. Like when he first walks up on the patio, you see it shine there on the ground. When he was picking the plant, you see it light up from his mouth a few times, looking down at the plant that he was picking up. Why he picked up that plant is still beyond anybody's reason. I mean, it still doesn't make any sense to me. And that, I mean, I cannot be the only one who thought something was super weird about that video, that there was something reflecting in the driveway at a few times, and to be able to go in there and look into it and see that there was actually a vehicle. I mean, I hope to God the FBI and the sheriff department have way better editing software than I do, and way better eyes, that I'm not the only one who saw that shit. And they could know exactly what vehicle it is. I don't know. I honestly don't know. He picked up the plant to mask it, right? Jeez. But then they still leave the plant there on the ground. I mean, they didn't take all of it. There were still a few pieces sitting on the ground. None of it makes sense. In the next couple days, I'm hoping to go back out and search a few areas. It's going to be a matter if I can get someone to go with me, or if it's a area that's safe enough for me to go by myself. But I don't know. Something happened to this poor woman. Someone took her. Something happened to her. What they did with her, where, is beyond me. Because I mean, there is vast areas of desert out here. There's many places. It just depends on how far they're willing to drive. How far are they willing to take that risk of having her in the vehicle with them and not get caught? I just keep praying daily, every night, that something will happen. Something will come up in this case, that something will break. And I'm just praying to God that they actually have leads and have been watching these leads, trying to get every bit of information that they possibly need so they can prosecute these guys and not have it to where they could slip, where a defense attorney can get them to where they could slip away. That's why I'm hoping it's been this long. I can only hope and pray that it's been like that. But I want to thank each and every one of you who came in, listened to me rant about some of the stuff that's been going on. Yeah, I mean, I have so many questions. Like, was all of her garbage cans there? Was that mark in her driveway from the law enforcement? If so, let us know, for God's sakes. stop letting us have to speculate of what the hell was going on, because nobody knows what those drag marks were made from. If it was made from the law enforcement when the Lord, when the murder investigators, whatever you call them, came in to look, did they carry a cart with them? And the picture is so far away you can't tell which way the gravel is displaced, if it's like, being which direction the gravel is being dragged to. You can't really see very well. The picture's not all that clear. I mean, that would help. So, I mean, shit, was those there before the law enforcement got there, or were they created by law enforcement? And if it was there before if they were there before the law enforcement showed up, is all of her trash cans there? Have they checked her trash cans for any types of DNA or blood? There's so many ifs. So many ifs. Yeah, I'll stay safe. I bring lots of water and other protections with me. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Feel free to send me emails if you happen to find something. I can't see everything at all the times. I mean, I do have a job. I have other family that I take care of, so I'm not able to watch everything at every time. So everyone pray that something happens with Nancy and that we are able to bring closure to the family, and this asshat gets arrested, or asshats gets arrested soon, and there'll be justice for Nancy. So again, until next time, good night, everybody.